Why is there so much sexual harassment in prison, and why does society ignore it until it's too late? How did prisons, places that are supposed to maintain order, safety, and rehabilitation, become environments where sexual harassment, manipulation, intimidation, and abuse are often treated as part of the culture? Why do so many inmates live in fear of humiliation, coercion, unwanted touching, threats, and exploitation from other inmates, while some also face harassment from the very staff members sworn to protect and supervise them? And why does society seem uncomfortable talking about it honestly? Sexual harassment inside correctional facilities is one of the darkest realities of incarceration because it thrives in silence. And some people outside prison walls dismiss it as just prison life, while others joke about it without understanding the psychological destruction it causes. But behind every incident is a real human being, someone living with fear, shame, trauma, anger, or emotional scars that can last a lifetime. Inside prison, power becomes currency. Weakness is hunted. Vulnerability is exploited. Some inmates use intimidation, gang influence, threats, or violence to control others. Predators search for individuals who are isolated, mentally unstable, young, physically smaller, emotionally broken, or lacking protection. Sometimes the harassment starts with jokes, comments, humiliation, or pressure before escalating into assault or exploitation. But one of the hardest truths for society to accept is that abuse is not always inmate-on-inmate. There have been cases where correctional officers, supervisors, medical personnel, or administrators crossed ethical and legal lines by manipulating inmates emotionally or sexually. Some abuse power because they know inmates are often not believed. Others exploit the imbalance of authority, believing nobody will report them or that the system will protect them. Why does this happen? Because prisons are closed environments where secrecy, fear, and power dominate everyday life. Many inmates fear retaliation if they report abuse. They may be labeled informants, targeted by gangs, denied protection, transferred into dangerous housing units, or ignored entirely. Some staff members who report misconduct by coworkers also face retaliation, harassment, career damage, or isolation from fellow officers. In some facilities, a toxic good old boy culture protects corruption instead of exposing it. And then there's society's role. Why are people so quick to say, they're inmates, who cares? Does incarceration mean a person no longer deserves basic human dignity? Should someone's crime sentence them to sexual humiliation and psychological torture too? If prisons are supposed to rehabilitate people, how can abuse and trauma create anything except more violence, hatred, and emotional damage? The reality is that sexual harassment inside prisons damages everyone involved: victims, officers, families, and society itself. Victims often leave prison with PTSD, severe anxiety, depression, paranoia, trust issues, substance abuse problems, or violent emotional reactions. Some never recover mentally, some become suicidal, some carry that trauma into relationships, communities, and future generations. Even ethical correctional officers suffer. Many officers enter corrections wanting to provide stability and safety, only to witness manipulation, corruption, cover-ups, predatory behavior, and institutional silence. Constant exposure to abuse, tension, and trauma can emotionally numb staff members and distort how they view humanity itself. So how does society stop it? First, people must stop normalizing prison abuse as entertainment or just part of doing time. There's nothing funny about exploitation, coercion, or sexual violence. Second, prisons need stronger accountability systems, independent investigations into misconduct, better protection for whistleblowers, more mental health resources, trauma-informed staff training, proper inmate reporting systems, severe punishment for staff or inmates who commit abuse, more oversight instead of secrecy. Third, society must ask deeper questions. Why are prisons often built around punishment but not rehabilitation? Why are mentally ill people placed into violent environments with little protection? Why do some institutions protect reputations more than human beings? And finally, people must remember this: a prison sentence is supposed to remove freedom, not humanity. No matter what someone has done, allowing sexual harassment and abuse to thrive inside correctional facilities destroys any claim that the system is about justice or rehabilitation. A society can often be judged by how it treats the people it has the most power over, especially the forgotten, the condemned, and the voiceless. So the question becomes, if society knows these things happen behind prison walls and chooses not to confront them, then who is really responsible for allowing the cycle to continue? Leave a comment below